friends, welcome in. I'm sorry, I am, as usual, running behind. Go figure, of course. Alright. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and craft. So I'm in a new group today, y'all. It is called Crafty Friends Unite, and please make sure you go check them out. Today's event is called Peter Cottontail. So, you know, we're doing everything with the little guy, as we call him. I'm gonna go a little bit different. Hopefully everybody likes my idea of what I'm gonna do, and hopefully you guys will join me. So let's see, we have where is it? Okay, up after me is going to be Tammy with TNT Backroom Crafts and Creations. So make sure that you guys check her out. And I have 45 minutes, so let's get rolling because I'm already behind. So let's get started, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and turn you guys down. Hopefully you guys will be able to see what it is that I'm crafting. Okay. Alright, so I have a board here. It is just a canvas board. I'm going to use the back side because, as you guys know, I love to do things that are double-sided. Peter Cottontail was known for being in like the garden and stuff, so we are going to use, I'm thinking, this fabric right here. May or may not do that one, but I kind of like it, so we might go with that. And then we will okay. We are going to find myself so I can make sure I get all comments in, and that way I can see what in the world is going on, hopefully. There we go. Okay. Thank you guys again for being here. Anybody who's popping in, I really do appreciate that. Alrighty. Okay, so alright, these are plastic bunnies that you can get at the these ones are from Walmart. They're $1, and I like that they are flat, but we are actually just going to use the one side that has the actual like bunny, not so much this side. We're going to do this side right here, okay? Alright, so we're going to paint him, and we're going to actually do a crackle technique on him. And I have my paint right here. I have my glue. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I have my glue. So we're going to do the glue part first. If you have Mod Podge, you can definitely use Mod Podge as well. I just have regular school glue. That works for me, so you do what works best for you. Hey there, Crafts by Amy. Thank you so much for sharing me. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. And like I said, it is my first time being in this group event, and their events are 45 minutes, which is definitely a lot less than what I'm used to. Well, not a whole lot less, but it's less than what I'm used to. So we are going to hopefully get this done in time. And like I said, we're going to try to get this glue to stay on this as well, because it's plastic. So, you know, with plastic and working with plastic, sometimes things, you know, don't always go as expected, and that's, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you can only do so much, but we do try to play with it, because at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, right? So I'm trying to dry this a little bit. And the biggest reason I'm doing that is because I'm hoping that my paint will stick better with it, okay? That's the whole reason why we're doing that. Now I've got some chalk paint. And many times just straight chalk paint is enough for things to stick. But I wanted to make, you know, double sure, and adding your glue down definitely helps for it to adhere. So now, if you guys remember, Peter is gray, so we are going to go gray on top of this white once we are done, okay? And this is a way for you guys to use up maybe those plastic bunnies that, you know, you end up having left over, and you're like, oh, well, what can I do with them? Or you see them and you don't know exactly what you can use them for. Hello there, Miss Teresa. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping in and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So again, in the description of my live is the link to the group. Like I said, for those of you who may be catching me on replay, or and you're, you know, you've been with me before, this is a new group for me. So make sure that you go join them. They are it is a free event group. So it is Crafty Friends Unite, and I actually stumbled upon them because I was looking for my group, which has a similar name, and that's actually how I found them. So super excited to be here, and hopefully they'll have me back. Hopefully I don't disappoint too bad, and we are able to, I'm able to participate again. Alrighty, so see, the chalk is giving me a good coverage, especially now that I had that glue on, because it's really making sure that the paint is sticking to something. It has something, some body. It's not slick. So yeah. Thank you, Miss Amy. You're too kind. Y'all, please follow Crafts by Amy. She is our hostess, and I do follow her. I did not know you had your own events, my friend. So I was very delightfully surprised when I found your group. So thank you so much for being here and having me. I really appreciate it. Okay. So I'm just trying to dry this a little bit. And if you notice, let's see if I can bring you guys down a little bit more. If you notice, it is crackling some. And that's going to happen because of the glue. So, because again, we put that glue down, right? But again, it's one of those where, you know, I didn't want to risk just putting my paint straight on. Okay, so I am going to go over it again, and I'm just using regular Elmer's glue, guys. So, you know, if you have the Mod Podge, by all means use it. You know, use what you got. You know, we always talk about, you know, there's no need to go out and always buy new things. I mean, even though buying new things is fun, you know, try new things. But if you have regular school glue, it works just as well. But if you have Mod Podge, then use that as well. I normally do have Mod Podge on hand as well as the school glue. I just don't know where it is. I am still trying to get organized, and so my craft room is still a mess. And trying to find things sometimes is proving to be a little harder, you know, because we do the, oh, I'm going to clean and organize, and stuff ends up in, you know, it's hard to find things. So now I am caking this one on definitely a lot more because I do want to have that crackle when we put his gray on. The biggest difference is I will not dry this one before I put my paint on. What is it, Stormy? Sorry, y'all, my cat's over here wanting my attention. I'll get to you, girl. You just need to wait. Mommy's kind of trying to do something right now. So, but I am making sure I have glue everywhere, wherever possible. Oops. And yeah, this is starting to get a little messy, but hey, we're not crafting if it ain't messy. Alright, let me grab my gray right quick. Clean off my finger. Okay. Now I'm just gonna use the same one. It'll be good. Alright, so this is just like, it's called Country Gray, guys. It is from Apple Barrel. Okay, so we're gonna use that one because to me it's a lighter gray, and when I think of Peter Cottontail, I think of a lighter gray. So that's the color that I thought would look best for him. And again, we are doing this on the wet glue so that when I go to dry, I'll end up with the actual crackle that I'm looking for. Okay, so just spreading it out. And you know, you guys can do this with the plastic eggs. So if you want to, like, maybe, you know, use some of those plastic eggs and rusty them up, you can, you know, do them this way, and that way you can have them maybe like in a, they're called like in a tray, a dough bowl, to decorate, you know, in your home. So it's a way to repurpose those plastic eggs, because, you know, I remember when the kids were little, man, we had hundreds of plastic eggs every year. And I would, don't get me wrong, I would reuse them, right? We would reuse them, and, you know, from year to year, oops, we would reuse them from year to year, but you still ended up with so many of them, you know. So this is a way to use them. You can definitely, like I said, crackle them up this way, and you get to use them up, and that way, you know, we're going to use this paint that fell down, and that way you're reusing what you have without having to, you know, throw them out into the landfill or send them to Goodwill or something. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to use all the eggs that you have that way, but it's a good way to use some of them, right? I think it's a pleasant way to use them up. use them for decor. You could even gift them. You could turn them, if you ever decide to do like a you know, one of those seasonal trees, you could definitely use it for that. Did I unplug my thing or something? Y'all, this is not the time for this thing to decide to stop working on me. Alright. So, I'm going to have to pull out the backup. Okay, so that's going to have to go down for a second. And I'm going to have to pull out my backup one. And like I said, after he is finished, he is going to go on the board. And I thought of adding some carrots to him. So we'll probably just do some regular painting on some of those Dollar Tree crayons. So we'll use some of those. Oh, thank goodness I had just picked up this second one, because not that I was thinking the other one was about to decide to not work for me, but this one was a good price, so I was like, oh, let's try this one. Plus there's those people that, and see, it already started crackling on its own, so we're just going to try to finish to dry this. We'll see. Not used to this one. This is a new one for me. This is a new type of heat tool. It's the Ranger one. They had it on a good price, so I was like, well, lots of people talk about it. Let me try it. I don't know. I kind of like the other one because it has 2 speeds. This only has 1 speed, on and off. Which, I don't know about that. But see how the crackle's happening? That is definitely what I was hoping for. I was hoping for that crackle. So that way I can, you know, have some texture to my little Peter Rabbit there. There's Miss Tammy from TNT Backroom Crafting. She is up after me, friends. She will be on in about 20 minutes, y'all. So make sure we stick around to see what it is that she's going to create. And I did share the flyer in my Telegram, so if you guys are not part of my Telegram, then please make sure that you know, you go to the top of my page and you can sign up for it. And many times you'll get a message like, hey, I'm live now, because that's usually what ends up happening. I don't have very good long-term planning skills, so I usually don't like say a whole lot like out of, you know, like ahead of time, but you know, I will let you guys know when I do come on. So look, he almost looks like a stone, guys, like one of them stone bunnies. I actually have one in my yard, but that's pretty much what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a little bit of a stone bunny. So that's pretty cool. I wonder, did I drop him one too many times or something? I don't know anymore. Okay. Alright, so it is still a little wet, so we're going to set him to the side. We are going to clean up the surface here so that I can actually work with the next part right quick. Let me get a wipe. One of the things that I'm really trying with this new craft space is to make sure that my layout works to where I have everything like within a very short arm's reach, so that when I'm crafting I can grab everything I need, you know? So we all go through that, right? It's hard to I mean, there's still tons of stuff I have to get up for, but, you know, like, and walk to, but at least they're somewhat close. So I usually put my pens if I forget to bring water in, which, you know, does happen, guys. It does happen. Okay, let's push you over that way a little bit. All right, so this is it is a canvas board, and this is the print that I'm going to use. Oh, the struggle is real. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. It is like, okay, well, what? Yeah, finding things, making sure that we're all, you know, where we need to be, how we need to be totally in tune is never easy. Yeah. Yeah, the things you use the most, you definitely want to have close to you. The biggest thing for me is, like, I really wanted a desk that I could, like, raise, and so, like, if I want to stand when I'm doing something, that I could have that. So I have that desk. But to have that desk, I lost all of my drawer space from my previous desk. So that part was not good, because now I'm like, okay, well, how am I so having to find other solutions to have things close to me is definitely been interesting, trying to find, you know, pieces that will hold the things that you need yet be accessible enough. So I have a little shelf over here that holds most of the stuff that I need. And that's why, you know, I tend to like up down a little bit. But you know what? I'm grateful. I have a space. So we gotta go with it, right? We gotta be grateful for the things that we have. You have a drafting table. It's tall and I can stand or use a bar. Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. So mine is, I don't necessarily think it's a drafting table. It's an IKEA base, so it's like a regular desk. But I do need to find something to put under it so that I can have that. So which like, what drawers do you use? Oh, look, Miss Amy, hey, I get it. Family always comes first, even if it's family drama. So you take care of that, my friend. Okay? Alright, so because this is the back side of the canvas, and it's usually slick, okay, I am just going to rough it up a little bit, okay, with my sandpaper, just so that, again, I have something to adhere to, right? Whole reason, like, why we did the glue, okay? So we're gonna do that, okay? But yeah, you're using the plastic ones, okay? Oh, the ones that have the really wide drawers, are those the ones you're using? See, my only concern with those plastic things is, you know, when stuff tends to get too heavy, that after a while, they tend to start to like buckle on you, and then they don't want to like open properly and stuff. That's my only like concern with those ones. You know, that's really like my only concern right there. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't got those to use. So I'm still looking. I don't know. I guess eventually I'll end up finding one, right? They're not overloaded though. See, my problem is I'd end up overloading stuff because, like, I'd grab something and then I'd be like, oh, you know what? I actually kind of do use this, so I might need this to be closer. So then I'll end up stuffing it in the drawer and stuff, and yeah, that's my problem. That's my, like I said, that's my only concern is me, because I know how I am. And so I would eventually start doing that. I'd start adding more things to the drawers than they could handle. Because I've done it in the past. We used to have those types of things for other stuff, and yeah, I always overloaded them. So this is fabric, just in case if anybody was wondering. I think so. This is just a piece of scrap fabric that I had picked up probably at Joann's or the Hobby Lobby or something. But then having the plants in the little pots, I know that some of them are cactuses and stuff. It makes me think of Peter because he was always in the garden, right? And I like the orange, so that's why we're going with that. I have like 10 sets throughout the room. I will say I have gotten better about that as I'm organizing this space. Is I am putting labels on things, and like that is the only thing that goes in there. But like, when I put like mediums, I end up finding myself putting a whole bunch of stuff in the medium box. So because I do such a wide variety of crafts that the amount of things that I end up using is kind of all over the place, guys. It really can be all over the place. Okay. Alright, let's make sure we got some glue under this bottom end here. And I just want to get this finished up. And yeah, so if you guys did not know, yes, you can, you know, use fabric in something that is not sewing, my friends. I use fabric as backgrounds a lot. So, you will see me do this plenty of times. I recently did a pets event, and I used a fabric for that, for my background. So I love being able to use and utilize these. Okay, all right. And I do have some paper here that'll be about the right size. Yep, that's what I was thinking. So we're going to glue it down, but first we're going to give it a little kind of texture up top, because you know this is supposed to be, you know, Peter Cottontail is where he's usually in grass. So we are going to just cut this up a little bit. So we're doing just like little tiny slits, approximately all about the same depth. Some closer together, some wider apart, but you know, kind of in the same vicinity. That is what, you know, I'm trying to accomplish here, so that we can kind of like, you know, ruffle it up a little bit so it looks a little more like grass, right? That's the whole idea. And I need to just get to about there. This is a stronger cardstock, so you know, maybe not the best to do this. A tissue paper might have been better, but I am totally okay with that. I'm like, you know, I just want the texture. I want it to look like there is some grass here from where he's, you know, in his element, doing his thing, which is usually stealing something out of the garden. Does anybody ever remember watching the mini series that they did? They also have a movie out of him, because I remember watching that here recently, like maybe last year. I think I had my husband download it or something, and we watched it. So So we're going to cut this down. And so I'm going to do 2 layers. Okay. So we're going to do another one in the same manner. Again, trying to give that illusion of that grass. I know it's a darker color, but I feel it goes better with what we have going on here. And the tissue paper that I do have is like a lime green, so I don't think that would have looked really good. So we're using the cardstock, and again, using what I got, you know, trying to make it work. And that's the idea, right? Is for us to use what we got. I mean, yeah, sometimes we still gotta go outside and buy some of the fun things, but try to use what we have. I know my husband's happier when I do, instead of always buying things. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's event. I know I definitely need to go back and watch some of our earlier presenters, but definitely check them out. Go check out the group, my friends. They will be on. They still have several crafters to go. So I hope that, hey there, Miss Sheila, how are you, my friend? I am in a new event group today. It's called Crafty Friends Unite, and I found them when I was looking for my group, and I signed up for this event, so I'm super excited. I hope you will, you know, give them a follow. It's a free event group. Crafts by Amy is the awesome hostess, so make sure that you are following her as well. And we are doing typical me, one of my mixed medias, using all kinds of things. I've used fabric, now I'm using some cardstock. The theme is Peter Cottontail, so I took a plastic bunny that I got at the Walmart for, it was a pack of 3 for $1. Thank you so much, my friend. It is my honor and pleasure to be here. Like I said, I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know that you had a group. I did not know that, you know, you were hosting, and I was like, hey, let me sign up and be in one of your events, and I'll try to pay attention to the sign-ups and hopefully sign up for a few more, because I am trying to get back into doing more events and things. I used to be I did kind of hold back a little bit for a bit. You know, we all need sometimes to step back and give ourselves a bit of a break, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, gotta always do what's best for you. I could have even done a 3rd row, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. And then we're going to add, now for him, I'm going to use my my glue gun. Sorry, my glue tool, to adhere him. So that is what we're going to utilize, and I know it's plastic, so just, you know, keep in mind that it is plastic. You're still dealing with plastic, okay? So this is our little guy right here, okay? And so we did do a crackle on him. Alright, so he looks like one of those little stone bunnies, but to me, like I said, when I think of Peter Rabbit, I remember him being gray. So this is, like I said, my interpretation, my take, which, of course, you know, artistic liberty. Right? We all have a right to that. And so I'm going to just put a little bit right on the edge. And we're going to attach him. He's going to be sitting in the grass part of this garden. And I'm probably going to add, like I said, a carrot or two, maybe. You'll figure that part out here in a bit. I'm just going to add a little bit there on those little stubbies. Well, hello there, Miss Carla. How are you, my friend? I am in an event group. It is a new event group for me. It's called Crafty Friends Unite. And it is hosted by Crafts by Amy. So if you ladies can, please give both the hostess and the group a follow. And up after me is going to be Miss Tammy from TNT oh goodness gracious, Backroom Crafts and Creations. I want to make sure I said that one right. Okay. Alright. So I got that. You're driving home. Well, please be safe while you drive home. Okay. Safety first, my friend. Thank you for popping in. I really do appreciate that. And see, and now we get to trim things off. So we're going to trim things off. And then I'll come back and I will sand it to make it actually like completely flush. Because you know, scissors only get so far. But I do want to make sure that I give you guys like a look-see of what it's going to look like. Oh, I forget, those scissors are horrible and do not cut fabric. They're not my fabric scissors for sure. So see, this is what, oh, wait a second, that's what we got right there. See, look how cute that is. And I have these, but I think that's going to be a pretty big of a carrot. So I need to see if I have some smaller ones that I can put here in the grass, because you know he's coming for his carrots, because that's what he likes. He likes to have his carrots. What I'm not sure is, should I put over here like Peter Cottontail, or do you guys think that I should just leave it as is? What do you guys think? I'm glad that you guys like him. I think he did come out super cute and adorable. Like I said, this is a plastic bunny, guys. You can totally, you know, repurpose those plastic bunnies and eggs, and you can make them to look different than the plastic, and you can utilize them. So this was a simple crackle. Reminds me of the little stone bunny that I have. It would be cute with the wording. Okay, so then I will make sure to get that cut out. I'll probably do vinyl, and I'll do that, and then once I'm finished with it, I'll end up taking a picture of it. So typical my crafts, it's going to be double-sided. So we'll have the Peter Cottontail on this side, and then we'll have my teacups that I made on this side. So yeah, so we'll have both of those. Thank you so much, Miss Amy, for having me, guys. Please go check out Miss Tammy. She should be on right now. I am so grateful that I could be part of this group in this event today, and I hope to be back again. So thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. Please go check out my friend, my new friend, Tammy from TNT Backroom Crafts and Creations. And until I see you again, my friends, remember to be kind. Be blessed, my friends. I love y'all. Ciao.